Predictions are now open in the chat. You can place your bets on who you think will claim this series. Will it be one Protoss or the other? Will it be our Korean Protoss or our European Protoss player? Best of luck in the chat when it comes to your predictions. It's not going to be an easy one. I know who I would pick, but best of luck. Good luck, Papi. Good luck in the chat. As spawning in the top left-hand corner. In the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our blue Polish Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Bleed Esports. It is NightMare. And throughout the course of 2024, who have our champions been? I mean, Krystianer, he is a 5. He's a 5-time Sparkling Tuna Cup champion in the year 2024. Meanwhile, NightMare is a 2-time champion. So Krystianer has got that many more wins under his belt. NightMare, he's got a couple. You know, he definitely is a champion, at least in his own right. He's a tuna, but is he the Sparkling Tuna? That's the question. Also, very quickly, if you want to help support this tournament, ! Patreon in the chat. Patreon is set up to fund our events and to help grow our events as well. So if you're curious, if you're interested, then you can check out our Patreon. If you want to help grow the Sparkling Tuna Cup, not just the Sparkling Tuna Cup, but also Master Swan Open and Sea Duckling Open as well. Our amateur events are also funded via Patreon as well. All of our events, all of our tournaments. So if you're interested, we got you covered there. Otherwise, you can help support the tournament via Matcherino. Matcherino is also another way to help specifically fund this week's event. So if you're interested, you can support us there. Otherwise, enjoy. Enjoy the cast. Enjoy the finals. As it is going to be a 2-gate opener here by Krystianer. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of NightMare. 2-gate opener into Double Stalker. So NightMare going for a more aggressive start. Meanwhile, Krystianer going for a singular unit. It's going to be Sentry into expansion from Krystianer. Pylon's already on the way. Soon to be a shield battery as well. So a very defensive setup here by Krystianer. As the probe is locked in and shut down. Because the probe was locked in, that means we could not delay the expansion with the pylon. The probe was stuck, the probe is killed, and we can expand. And we need that shield battery as soon as possible because the Stalkers will soon be moving out. We've seen that kind of dynamic in the past. Back at home, okay, it's going to be... Oh, actually, only one Stalker. My apologies, I thought it was double Stalker, but no, it was one Stalker into an expansion, so we can see that that NightMare is trying to catch up in the economy. So Stalker expand into double Sentry. Meanwhile, Krystianer going for Sentry expand into more Sentry. The mass Sentry, Papi, the mass Sentry. So we are settling in. Loose Nation Scout moving out across the map. And Krystianer will confirm the timing of the expansion. He is now aware that his opponent did also delay additional units and went for a faster expansion. And both players are working towards their Twilight Councils. Faster Twilight Council out of Krystianer, slower Twilight Council out of NightMare. Working towards Blink. Blink is on the way. Settling in. But overall, just Blink for both players. And we'll see how we embrace this. We'll see where this does lead us. As for now, NightMare does have some extra warp ins. Krystianer going straight for a third. Okay. So NightMare, he invests into his army as he goes for another warp in as well. Has a greater Stalker force. Meanwhile, Krystianer just goes straight for a base, straight for a third. A risky move here by Krystianer. We'll see if he gets away with it. As NightMare is setting up for a slightly later expansion. But he's moving out with his army. The move out is spotted. Krystianer getting ready. No shield battery, but he does have the high ground. Does have an extra warpin. Finishing up just in time. Yeah, we have an even army here. 5 versus 5. They do bleed out a Stalker. Force fields are thrown down. And Krystianer does have the better concave. As I say, that does get caught out for a moment. Has to pull away and bleeds out 2 sentries. Looking at the trades here, that was... There we go. 2 sentries, 1 stalker. 2 sentries went down. That was a brutal, or a better trade for NightMare. A worse trade for Krystianer, as sentries have a little bit more value. And they can scout. Shut down in the death, but as he don't get shut down, we go for the shield battery and we go for the probes. Probes are falling. Krystianer out of position. We got 3 probe kills. Very necessary. Remember that the third base for NightMare isn't even done, so any worker kills will help NightMare stabilize. Will help NightMare catch up. So we got 3 probes. And with that, NightMare is only down at 3 workers compared to his opponent. Shield batteries on the way. Gateway explosion as well for both Krystianer and NightMare, working on Forger +1 charge. Krystianer relying on a gateway heavy composition. Meanwhile, NightMare so far has yet to invest into his own charge. I'm sure he soon will. Once again, Krystianer so quick to take a 4th. He's just been expanding so quickly. Krystianer with the faster 3rd, with the faster 4th. Not taking extra gases, bearing in mind no gases at the natural, no gases at the 3rd base for Krystianer. What does this mean? This means just Swarm Toss. This means just a massive gateway army. There's no like Bay, there's no Templar Archives, Archons, Immortals, Disruptors, none of that. Meanwhile, we do see NightMare investing into his own gas at least a little bit more. Krystianer instead building up towards Mass Zealot. Server gets shut down. Server is going to be shut down. NightMare does rotate. Does get eyes on the 4th. Picks away and gets 5 probe kills. We got Stalkers towards the left. We got Stalkers towards the right. Krystianer is getting pulled apart. Yeah, having a hard time keeping up. And charge is not yet done. Oh, that's 7 probe kills. And just like that, NightMare takes a worker lead. So once again, very nice movement, very nice control out of NightMare, pulling Krystianer apart, picking away at his economy. And NightMare, he's had enough. Now he's pushing. And now he's got his upgrades. He's got Blink, Charge, +1 is going to finish up in 3 seconds. We have the Prisoner Reinforce. Supply-wise, NightMare is keeping up. He's holding his own. But he needs more time for his own upgrades to finish. Another big warp in. NightMare trying to catch the Prism. Not able to yet. Has eyes on it though. Sharking around. Prism does siege. NightMare, he can come in from behind. Yeah, he goes for the blink, goes for the dive. The Prism is exposed, and it's going to go down. And without the Prism, we have to back up. Yeah, NightMare, he holds. Very clean defense here with the line of force fields as well. NightMare holds on. Krystianer has to back up. And Krystianer, he's not really set up for a longer game. Again, he still has not taken extra gases. Krystianer is still very committed. Very much so committed. Very much so all in. Does catch the Observer. Krystianer does take the supply lead. Meanwhile, we get cannons on the way. Side defense. Cannons ready for DT harass. The Dark Templar. Krystianer just taking map vision away from NightMare, but ooh, catch the Observer. Observer goes down. Krystianer being active. That's a lot of Zealots coming in. How many Zealots is that? That's 30. Oh my god. Oh, more than double. More than double the Zealot count of his opponents. 30 Zealots is insane. 36 Zealots. Oh my god. And we're pushing. We're pushing in. Now, force fields can work quite well against this. But the Zealots have arrived. We dive on the army. Force fields have been thrown down. We're going to try to commit. But so many Stalkers caught in the back line. A very strong start for NightMare. He cleans up so many Zealots. Respect the force fields. I was hoping we could come in from multiple angles. The Prism goes down. And the War Prism does fall. Overcharge is popped. And NightMare is holding. NightMare, despite being down 30 supply, the soup does lie. It doesn't matter. We had the force fields. We had the defense advantage. NightMare holds. And Krystianer, he's in a position taking another base. Still no gas as Krystianer is still hyper committed to this style. And I'm just waiting for NightMare to throw down a Temple Archives, right? I'm waiting for Archon production. We can get into Archons. That's gonna be it. So whether it's Archons or whether it's Disruptors, either or, they both have their place. So going down, Krystianer pushing through. Once again, the force fields are ready. Once again, we only have one angle of attack. Like, if Krystianer could fight out in the open, that's a different story. Or if he could come in from multiple angles, sure, but that just hasn't been happening. Krystianer getting into his own Archons. Meanwhile, here comes the Bay, here comes the Robo, here come Disruptors. Both players are maxed. +3 has not begun for Krystianer. There is no +3. NightMare, it's his turn to be caught out of position. We can go for the base. We can go for the Nexus. Yeah, shield batteries are going down. And we can take a better fight. Cells, they collapse on the army. Archon is pinned back. Reinforcements on the way. Likewise, Zealots, they're caught in the back line here for NightMare. Archon do what it can. But it looks like the defensive advantage is just a little bit too much. And NightMare, he will take the fight. He will force back Krystianer. And NightMare, he takes the lead. Does take a massive lead here. Krystianer, he's run out of steam. Remember, he has no other tech behind this. He's not ready for a longer game. Disruptors are on the way. And Krystianer was all in. He had to get more damage. He had to break the army or break the base, and he got neither. He got nothing. And now Krystianer is in a rough position. He's in a very rough position here. As NightMare is building up more Disruptors. Dark Shrine is on the way. Dark Shrine is on the way here. Looking for a Zealot run by at the same time. No, he goes off! Ooh, does connect. Connects, we force a recall. 10 probes go down. And Krystianer now with the worst economy. And that Disruptor cannon is getting higher and higher. DTs are going to be coming into the mix. We get a wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries. We have the money for it. We have the spare resources. NightMare just securing himself. And again, what can Krystianer do? Here come the Novas. A little bit trigger happy. That was 3 Novas. Now a 4th. 2 left. 2 Novas remaining here for NightMare. And ooh, big connection. Yeah, massive connection here on the army. Overcharge gets popped. And NightMare holds the line. NightMare will completely shut this down. At this point, even without the Disruptors, he has enough. But may as well make use of them. Novas, they go up on the Zealots. Falling back to the cannons and shield batteries. And GG gets called. NightMare will take game number 1. GG. Again, there was a little potential for Krystianer. He was building up, but it was so important that NightMare sniped the first prism. The first war prism, if you remember, NightMare, he had a harassing force. He had like a group of 5 stalkers out on the map, and he was able to come in from behind, able to snipe the prism, delay any warp-ins. And because Krystianer was committed, any delays just hindered him so much. And with that, NightMare takes a lead. NightMare does take a lead, and now we're getting to game number 2. Let's go. Getting into game 2 on Golden Aura. I'm sure Krystianer's I'm sure he's going to be going for a very different play style here in game number 2. Game 1 embracing this more committed mass gateway composition. Here in game 2, we'll see what we got. We shall see. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Starlight Twinkle. Down in the series, looking to bounce back, it is Krystianer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Red Protoss player representing Bleed Esports. It is NightMare. Currently leading the series 1-0. Here we go. How can we settling in? We are going to be settling into our game. So far is going to be a 2-gate opener, 2 gateways here out of our Red and Blue Protoss players. We go. We are going to be settling in. Again, just 2-gate opener out of NightMare, 2-gate opener out of Krystianer. Now our probe scouts are coming in to get an eye on the second pylon. The second pylon has been thrown down in the main. Likewise, is thrown down in the main base of NightMare as well. So no proxies. There's no proxy, there's no all-in. It's a best of 5 PvP. I'm sure we're going to get it at some point. Well, we will get some proxies, we'll get some cheese at some point in this series, just not in the first 2 games. Anyway, we're calming down. We'll get there, I'm sure. For now, we are settling in, and once again, Krystianer going for a singular unit opener. The probe will confirm, like, hold up, that second gateway is not making anything, but we are locked into the main. There's a nice adaptation here out of Krystianer. Basically, he walls off, so this probe cannot block the expansion of Krystianer. Krystianer will have a faster base as a result. As the Nexus is on the way, and across the map, Krystianer pylon blocks. So a nice economic start for the Blue Protoss. Meanwhile, NightMare opens up double Adept into double Stalker. Hyper aggression here from NightMare. Nexus is on the way, and Adepts are moving out. Now, can Krystianer survive the early game aggression against the Adepts and the Stalkers and the army here of NightMare? Now, thankfully, oh, never mind. I was going to say that the Stalkers didn't be kept busy by the pylon, but based on the unnatural natural, we may just rally across the map. No, we're going for the pylon. Okay. We're going for the pylon, thankfully. Adepts are denied. Pylon under fire. And we are expanding. Hallucination Scout trying to confirm what's going on, and it looks like we do get eyes on the unnatural natural. So Krystianer, he now knows it's not a one-base all-in. He now knows that we're not rushing into a fast robo or a Twilight counter or anything crazy like that. We are expanding. So Krystianer feels safe. Upon seeing this, I'm sure he feels pretty safe. Safe and sound. Getting into his own setup. Twilight Council's also on the way. NightMare does have slightly faster blink than his opponents. That could be a factor here. Could be. But we're headed in the same direction. We're working towards those Blink Stalkers. Adepts do threaten the shade. Shaded to the main base. So they do get in. Getting one probe. One probe goes down. The rest of the army hits the natural. Catching a Stalker. Overcharge gets popped. We can go for the shield battery. The army's locked away. And we can layer these force fields. We can, and we will. NightMare able to just outposition Krystianer and abuses this here. We have another 2 force fields. Ay. Just a brutal position. The force fields, they just keep on being thrown down. We force the recall. And Krystianer does eventually hold. NightMare setting up a proxy. Going for the Dark Shrine. Do we have detection? Oh. Robo was delayed. The Robo was delayed. Krystianer will punish this, but DTs, they're morphing in. And Krystianer is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble right now. Sure, he's going for a counterattack and he has potential, but we have shield batteries, we have an overcharge, we have the high ground. NightMare's ready. Krystianer pulls back. And do we spot the DTs? I don't think we did. We could end the game if we go for the pylon. Pylon goes down. No! The pylon's gonna go down. No detection. GG gets called. The Invisible Man will claim the series for NightMare. GG. GG, well played. It is a dynamic that happens in PvP, but there are times where you don't have detection. There's no Forge, there's no Stargate, there's no Robo. As you saw there, the Robo was delayed because of the aggression of NightMare. It was delayed by a couple of seconds, and every second does count. Without a Robo, the Invisible Man, it's just too much. It becomes too much. GG, well played. NightMare is one game away from claiming the entire series and becoming our champion. One more game is all he needs. Let's go. Now we're getting into game number 3. We're going to be loading in to Krystianer. Here we go, we're getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Krystianer, potentially the final game of this series. The pressure is on. He has to fight back here and now to extend this series, have a chance at the ace match. It is the Polish Protoss. For Starlight Twinkle, it is Krystianer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from South Korea representing Bleed Esports. It is NightMare. There we go. One more win is all NightMare needs. Meanwhile, the pressure is on Krystianer. Alas, Krystianer unfortunately was just outpositioned early on in the last game, where we saw NightMare just get so much damage done. Able to catch probes, able to trade well against the army, and able to delay the Robo, just cause chaos and disrupt the build of Krystianer. And with that, went for the 1-2 punch, went for the Dark Templar. And that was it. That was game. That was a game. And where will this take us? Where will this go? So now we're settling in. It is going to be a 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Krystianer, 2-gate opener out of NightMare. We'll keep an eye on our initial units to see if Krystianer once again goes for something more economic or something more aggressive this time. We shall see. Not even your bottle can break the green screen. Did you enjoy your star, Liquid? My water bottle. It is one with the universe. This is true. It does blend into space and allows me to consume the system around me. It tastes a little bit salty. The stars, I mean. It's like sparkling water. There you go. That's maybe the best way that I can phrase it. Which it's you know, it's okay for some, not so much for others. Tropicana. As we do see once again Krystianer going for the faster expansion, once again going for the Sentry into Nexus. We've seen the same opener every game so far to Krystianer in Game 1, Game 2, and Game 3. Meanwhile, Krystianer delays the expansion and NightMare is going for faster tech. That is a Stargate. So it's going to be double Adept Stargate opener into Oracle. Hyper aggression out of NightMare. We saw last game he was being active with the Adepts. This time it's the Adepts and the Oracles moving out. We'll see if Krystianer can keep up. We'll see if he can keep up as he's moving out across the map. To move out. Hallucination will confirm that we do have Adepts as well as Oracles on the field. Krystianer will be getting ready. Initially we wall off. Adepts, they're going to be denied. And the Oracle is on the way. Zooming across the map. Krystianer does have a shield battery that's not quite in the... Oh, we're not ready. We're not quite ready in the main base. We do go for a warp in. Whew, that's going to finish up just in time. Whew. Oh my god, that was very clutch. That was a very clutch warp in. Adepts will throw in a shade. Alas, we're in position. Shading towards the main. Keeping eyes on the Oracle. And we don't quite commit in. We did think about it for a moment. There are two probes. Sorry, one probe goes down. We better get a second. Second, a third probe as well. And up, we get a fourth. 4 probe kills. Not bad. Despite the force field, despite the shield battery, we get 4 probe kills. We get a 5th as well. NightMare just squeezing as much value out of these units as he can and getting a 6th probe. Oh my god, 6 probe kills. And despite the scouting, Krystianer, he could not avoid the damage. Did take a lot of hits here in the end. He was cutting corners, was trying to defend as cleanly as possible, as you know, trying to get away with as much as he could. Alas, he was punished for it. Was punished. And now the game will settle down. NightMare does have the slight economic lead. Is going to take his 3rd. Likewise, so is Krystianer. NightMare's 3rd is slightly faster. Krystianer will confirm. When it comes to the main base, it is just going to be a Blink follow-up. This time, there's no Dark Shrine. For now, there's no Dark Shrine. Just Blink on the way for both NightMare and Krystianer. 3rd bases as well. I do have to give the slight edge to NightMare because of his workers and his 3rd base timing. Tastes like sparkling. Exactly, exactly. You understand. You understand the reference. It tastes like a sparkling tuna, if you will. Ah. Let's go. Right now, I'm just thinking of like, I'm just thinking of a sparkling tuna right now. That's all that's on the mind. Oracle zips into the main. There's no shield battery in the main base. 5 more probes go down. Ooh, as yeah, NightMare does pop off. Okay, 5 more probe kills in the main. Dancing against the main army as well. Do you have the shield battery in position? Do you have the Immortals? And Krystianer just has to take a more defensive stance, building up the Immortal count. Stuck on 3 bases, defending. And NightMare, with his map control, he could be free to expand. Leads out the Oracle. Oracle goes down. NightMare is able to shut down both sentries. Both sentries full. NightMare taking extra gases. And going for a higher gas count. Adept does shade into the main. And does deny some mining time. Gets a probe. Gets a probe. Does confirm our tech of choice. Does confirm that there's no additional bay, for example. No second robo. No dark shrine. Not that we've seen so far. Does feel like both players are headed in the same direction here. But Krystianer does have the Immortal lead. That's 3 Immortals to 1. So even though NightMare has a massive Stalker army, if they faced off head to head, I do give the edge to Krystianer. So NightMare has to respect it. He has to respect the higher immortal count, and instead has to try to outposition the army. You know, even though Krystianer, he has a hefty force at the third, NightMare could, for example, hit the fourth. Could hit the fourth, hit the natural, somehow blink into the main. There are options, or even just chip away at the main army. NightMare can try to avoid the main fight. Back at home, reinforcing with Zealots, Archons. It's also a great job at buffering for your army, at being a bit of a buffer zone between your Stalkers and your opponent's Immortals. NightMare just rotate over towards the fourth. Krystianer able to keep up. Does keep up. Does force NightMare back. Are we holding? Are holding on. NightMare backs up. Yeah, doesn't want to overextend with his Stalkers, doesn't want to fight the Immortals, so will pull back, and hasn't teched up into Disruptors yet. I'm still keeping my eyes peeled for any other Bay or any kind of Disruptor play. For now, just committed to our Gateway composition. I'm moving out. The army supplies are quite comparable with each other, and same with the army compositions. Like, sure, I would say that Krystianer, sure, he has more Immortals, but we do have additional Archons for NightMare. Archons now on the way for Krystianer. See NightMare pushing forward. Upgrades are even. +2 about to finish for both players. Slightly faster for the red Protoss. NightMare rotates over towards the left-hand side, getting on top of the ramp. He does outposition Krystianer. Krystianer a little bit late to get here. It does force the overcharge. Overcharge is popped. And we can just avoid the overcharge and rotate back around. Or we could engage. We do collapse in. The Immortals looking a bit exposed. Can we save them? Up! The Immortals getting quite low. We're in for a big warp in, but we cannot push through this choke point. Yeah, the choke point is brutal. Do pull away. And NightMare, do we try to hit the fourth base? Then we recall over towards the right-hand side. Krystianer trying to get the surround. Going for the surround. NightMare, he doesn't like the situation. He gets the hell out of here. Shields are triggered on the Immortals. One Immortal goes down. And NightMare is on the run, and Krystianer takes the supply lead. Does take a lead in supply. Gonna be collapsing in. Collapse forward. Krystianer pushing towards the left-hand side. NightMare is keeping up. Oh, and we can't quite push into this. The Concave is just too good for NightMare. It is just too good. He does focus down these Immortals one after the other. There's no room in the prison. Make some space. We drop the Archons. Not a bad engage here from Krystianer, but oh my god, the Archons, they go ham. The Zealots of Krystianer, they melt. And the Zealots melt, and now it's Archon v Archon. Stalkers doing what they can. Another big wave of reinforcements, and here come the Disruptors. Disruptors have arrived. And NightMare, he's taking the fight. Yeah, Novas go up, they shut down the Immortals. And Krystianer, he's forced to back off. Again, he had a rough start earlier. The armor supplies were comparable, but now we've gotten away with Disruptor production. Krystianer, he's getting into his own. His own Disruptors are on the way. But he needs time. He needs time to build up. Does need time to build up an army. And Krystianer just doesn't have that time. Just don't have that time. Not anymore. May not be pushing forward. Krystianer, he has the high ground, but he doesn't have the gold. Yeah, the gold base is going to be completely shut down. At the same time, NightMare getting his own gold behind this. And he can keep on pushing. Never goes off. Takes down the Zealots. The disruptor count is quite comparable between our players. Never's going up. Oh! Ooh. NightMare shoots first. Does shoot first. And we committed. We focus on the disruptor. One more Nova goes off. Good connection. But that is our only connection. You have the overcharge. Krystianer, he can take a fight. Does have the defense advantage. Ooh, as we barely split in time. Impressive. NightMare does avoid the Novas. Krystianer trying to force the issue. Oh my god. Does try to force her, pushing on forward. NightMare refusing to back off. Doesn't want to let up. Doesn't want to retreat. And even though NightMare isn't killing Krystianer, he's containing him to 4 bases. Like NightMare, he's got the gold. He's got the gold up and running. Taking our gases. Gases are on the way. NightMare taking another expansion. And we saw that this is like NightMare's comfort zone. We saw this against Geralt as well. Getting to a gateway and disruptor composition. And Geralt was always so willing to embrace Sky Toss, but that's not the case here for Krystianer. Krystianer is trying to keep up and maintain himself against NightMare. Going for a very similar composition. 5th base is denied. NightMare rolling in. And we're just zoning Krystianer away. He's on the low ground. He can't push in. Blinks on 4. Does focus on 1 disruptor. He gets 2. But the Novas, they connect. Likewise. Oh my god. The chain Novas out of Krystianer. He's crazy. Breaks through the main army. And Krystianer, he should be able to clean this up. Should be able to chase this down. But alas, it costs him 28 workers. Zealots, they wreak havoc. Add to the 4th base. GG, and NightMare will take the series 3-0. Becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. And NightMare gets his revenge for the first time here in Sparkling Tuna Cup. Historically, we have had Krystianer. We have had Krystianer claim these tournaments and take down NightMare in the finals time and time again. But for the first time in Tuna Cup history here, we do have Krystianer instead bouncing back. Oh, sorry, NightMare instead bouncing back against Krystianer. NightMare able to bounce back, able to shut Krystianer down, and take the 3-0. Very impressive stuff here. Again, all these players have been improving over the course of the past couple of months. It's been a while since we've seen a finals between Krystianer and NightMare, and finally it goes the way of NightMare. Impressive. GG, well played. There were some moments for Krystianer as well, but also some rough moments, right? Like game 2 on Goldenrod was we didn't really get to sink our teeth into game 2. It ended with Dark Templar. Like DTs arrived, and that was just it. That was just game. Very anticlimactic end to game 2. Game 1 and game 3 was a little bit more back and forth, but alas, NightMare did come out on top in the end. And congratulations to NightMare. My condolences to Krystianer, but I'm sure he'll be back. Again, he is still the Sparkling Tuna. Again, Krystianer, he still has the most amount of wins in this tournament this year, but NightMare is catching up. This is NightMare's 3rd win of the year. Krystianer has 5, and NightMare, he's encroaching upon Krystianer, upon his win count, upon him. He wants to be the tuna, papi. I don't blame him. Otherwise, Thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Throughout all of this, I believe WTL did begin an hour ago. World Team League did begin an hour ago, and I believe Wardy has been casting that over on his channel. We are going to be covering this day of WTL in a couple of days. We'll be going over it during the week. I'll be honest, I wasn't able to really sleep too well last night. Just because of all the casting we've been doing and our messed up sleep schedule. Like it's still recovering. And we have some free days, so our next broadcast should be in less than 24 hours. Is going to be ESL Open Cup Asia. ESL Asia is on the horizon, is going to be in less than 24 hours. So if you're curious, our next broadcast is going to be ESL Asia in, hold on, let me get the time. In 20 hours time. So in 20 hours, we're going to be live here with ESL Open Cup Asia. The day after that is going to be ESL Open Cup Americas, and I believe we're going to be able to cover WTL on Tuesday. To catch up on WTL. If we do have a Club and VX Ducklings showdown on Tuesday, then we can do WTL on Wednesday instead. Bearing in mind that this week there is no Kung Fu Cup. So Wednesday is free for us, so we can slot WTL into Wednesday instead. But there's no Kung Fu Cup. There's no World Team League next week. The reason for this is because of the Esports World Cup. EWC qualifiers, they start on Thursday, Friday, they go over the weekend as well. We will be covering those qualifiers on the channel. We will be covering all of those qualifiers, so if you're interested, if you're curious, if you want to be there to find out who makes it into the Esports World Cup, we got you covered. We have you covered there. It's going to be a long night, a long weekend of StarCraft coming up ahead of us. And then after that, then regular scheduled programming until the main event of the Esports World Cup, until it comes around. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. We do appreciate the support. Again, usually we would go from like STC into WTL, but I'll be honest, I'm out of energy, Pappy. I'm out of energy. We're gonna take it easy, Pap. We're gonna take it easy, and again, we have some free days this week, so we'll slot WTL into either Tuesday or Wednesday. One of those 2 days we will have at WTL. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Again, congratulations to NightMare for becoming our champion. Shout out to Krystianer for getting second place, and a shout out to Mindle VK for claiming the random raffle. Congratulations to Mindle as well. Congratulations. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll raid another streamer. Let's find out who's streaming at the moment. I think I see GGE Mini Gemini. I think Gemini's streaming at the moment. He's streaming an All Things Protoss tournament, I think. He's a big part of All Things Protoss, so much love to Gemini. Or ATL. What is ATL? All Things League? I'm a little bit uncertain, but regardless, give him some love, give him some support. We'll be rating All-Mate Gemini, if you're curious. The memes are real. So we can give him some love. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the ESL Open Cup Asia. If you want to support the tournaments, !Patreon, !Matcherino. We have some various links to help fund the event if you're interested. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.